So that's the end of our Brexit updates here on the 67th weekly Friday show from Radio Free UK. So for a change of pace, we have the first of our regulars. This is Jake the Writer with another one of his terrific tales.
Today's podcast from Jake the Writer, travel journalist, author, blogger and commentator, looks at tattooing with a somewhat jaundiced eye. They call tattooing art. My regular readers will recall that I often dive into my memory bank and even dine out on the tale of my being naked in the gym changing room when a young man, equally naked, accosted me. After reeling back and before adopting a Krav Maga defence position, because I don't swing that way, I noticed that he was covered in Gothic-style tattoos. He pointed to my single tattoo that I sport on my right arm and said, "Nice ink, matey." Once I realised that he had no designs on my body, do you get that? Designs, tattoos. I became friendly, and although he really was only asking me to admire his own tattoo portfolio, I commenced to tell him that I had mine done many years ago in South Africa by a native Zulu who had been wearing an ostrich plume headdress and full tribal dress. Also that he'd carried out the procedure using a sharp piece of bamboo which he wrapped with a wooden mallet. My new friend said, "Caw, were you in the Boer War?" I turned and strode towards the showers, cheeky sod, calling me matey when he hardly knew me. End of memory. Well, not quite. I can remember that it bloody well hurt, and it was like being stabbed in slow motion hundreds of times. Having admitted to having a tattoo, which is of a springbok posed in front of the old Union flag of South Africa, with a scroll that used to say simply South Africa, but is now dark blue smear as time has taken its toll. I still subscribe to the rather snooty position that unless the tattoo wearer is ex-military, especially Navy or Army, where tattoos have been the custom since Nelson was a lad, tattooing is very club chav. It's the preserve of pole dancers and people with England flags fluttering from their car aerials. I was 17 when I acquired my tattoo. I was a sailor and I had partaken of a few glasses of Tiki Hock. Google it. Nowadays, the law in the United Kingdom states that you can't get a tattoo unless you are drunk. That's why 18 is the minimum age. I must also admit to another snooty prejudice from when I was an employer. I interviewed a lad who was computer literate and eminently qualified for the job. He bemoaned the fact that he had been applying for jobs for months and couldn't understand why he kept getting turned down. The very fact that he couldn't see the reason why was enough for me to also turn him down. He had a spider's web tattooed on his face and neck. I didn't enlighten him and wonder if he ever got a job that didn't involve emptying rubbish bins or mobile toilets. Tattooing art is invariably awful. David Beckham looks more like an Iron Maiden album cover. And as for Cheryl Cole / Fernandez Versin / Tweedy, apart from the cost of what she calls her rose tattoo, the pain must have been incredible. All I can think of when I see a picture of it is, does my arse look big in this tattoo? Whatever you call it, and it certainly isn't art in the same manner of the great artists like Leonardo da Vinci, Van Gogh and Monet, we know that these would apply their skill and dexterity to just about any surface. Walls, ceilings, canvas, paper, and they often did, but not the human body. Mind you, I wouldn't put it past Tracy Emin, but that still wouldn't be art. Look at the stereotypical tattooist, 18 stone of Hell's Angel with most of B&Q's stockroom stuck through his ears and nose. Proper artists spend ages considering their approach to a work, photographing it, looking at views through squared fingers and discussing it. the Hells Angel will probably give a 5-minute consultation before producing a very painful and expensive doodle. I suppose the advantage of having such graffiti on one's back is the fact that you can't see it, and it's only seen by very good friends. I know of a friend's wife who had such an intense love for her Ferrari that she had a prancing horse tattooed just above her G-string. Now, whenever she bends over, people ask her why someone has drawn a donkey on her back. As usual, it's rubbish and she's stuck with it for life, as I am with the springbok on my arm, but at least I can relate the tale of the Zulu warrior with his sharpened bamboo stick. I zigga zumba zumba zumba, I zigga zumba zumba zai. I zigga zumba zumba zumba, I zigga zumba zumba zai. Hold him down, you Zulu warrior. Hold him down, you Zulu chief. Hold him down, you Zulu warrior. Hold him down, you Zulu chief, chief, chief. That's the South African Boy Scouts version, which made my spell checker go wild. I also made a promise to you that I would never ever sing again. And as I only know the tune for the rugby song version, which is far too rude for here, that's all you're getting. Cheerio and thanks for listening. I'll see you again next week.